Hey, this is Nicole Kelly, host of Disarming Disability. Thanks for listening to the following show on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to the C. Jane Sell podcast,
a relatable sales podcast for your weekly dose of sanity. I'm your host, Chelsea Dupre.
And I'm your host, Leigh Nevis. Yes, queen. Welcome to episode 16 of the C. Jane Sell podcast. This is Leigh.
This is Chelsea. Welcome to anyone new who's listening. We're so glad to have you. And for all you C. Jane sellers from the very beginning, you OGs.
Our OG fam.
Heart goes out to you, pals.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yes.
We're so happy you tune in every week. It's kind of weird. Aren't podcasts kind of weird? Because it's like you just sit and you just record you talking to somebody and then other people just listen to it.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool.
But I love podcasts.
I know.
Like, I can't stop listening to other people talking to each other.
I know. And then I'm like, ooh, we should talk about that in our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally obsessed.
I love it.
But when we were talking earlier, before this even started, you had a very fun trip. And you were telling me about that. And I think there is something so important that we can share with our girls. And, I mean, even guys. It's a thing. It's a real life thing. So tell us.
Yeah, well, so I just took this incredible girls trip to Austin. And I'd never been to Austin before. It was my first time. And it was so much fun. Austin is probably the coolest city I've been to. It's just, it's very, like, there's so much to do. And there's so much culture and cool stuff. But none of it is pretentious. And that's, like, you feel like you could wear sweatpants anywhere in Austin. Like, you know what I mean? Or you could dress up anywhere. It's no place is bougie. Like, there's no bougie places. And so it was just a really nice, like, girls' weekend. Ate some delicious food, saw some sights, and it was great. But it was myself and 4 other girls, so there was 5 of us all together. And I realized, like, and I'm guilty of this. This is not me trying to, like, complain about, like, oh, other people do this and I don't. No. Like, I'm very guilty of this.
We all do it.
Of course. It's just, like, everyone just kept talking absolute crap about how they looked. Like, 24/7, though.
You can't even control or, like, enjoy your trip.
Oh, my gosh. And it was just, like, I look disgusting. Oh, my God, I'm so gross. Oh, my God, I hate myself in this. I look so gross. Oh, my God, why did you take that photo of me? I'm literally a hideous monster. Like... And, you know, like, at some point it's funny, but if you start saying that over and over and over, I really, really believe, like, words are so powerful. And even if you don't believe it, your subconscious, you're telling your subconscious that you're, like, hideous and that you're ugly. Yeah. And you're absorbing those words, and that's so bad for you.
Well, my friend was talking to me, and I said something stupid like that. And she was like, I just want you to stop for a second. And I want you to picture 2 scenarios. First, you are a younger version of yourself. Would you want anybody to talk to your younger version of yourself like that? How would that make you feel? The second scenario, I want you to picture you have a daughter. Would you talk to your daughter like that? Or would you want her talking about herself like that? Or anybody else talking to her like that? Probably not.
Oh, that's such a good example.
So, since then, I've been very thoughtful about talking to myself like this. Like, I've gained some weight. I've lost some weight. I've gained some weight. I'm on that roller coaster.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Who isn't, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, but I'm trying to picture it like this is more of a lifelong thing. It doesn't have to be for this season or for this. It's a life. So learn how your body responds to carbs, fats, proteins, blah, 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 blah. But also, give yourself a break. I mean, I'm able to walk. I'm up every day. I'm able to work. I can buy my food. I can pay for my house. I can pay for my car. I can do all of these things. I can see, I can hear, I can taste. Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's not. And it's, again, like, it's not, you can't be perfect all the time. And there are some days that you're going to feel like crap about yourself. But, like, just maybe, like, try to limit it a little bit.
Try,
like,
because if you're on a vacation and you're just upset the whole time. I went on a vacation with my family, went to St. George. And, I mean, I had some extra love going on in the Chelseanator over here.
Yeah.
And I was starting to get down on myself, and my husband was like, oh my gosh, I feel so, he's like, oh, don't do it. But I just thought, I got myself here. I can get myself out, but I am hardly with these people that I love so much, so forget it.
Exactly.
Like, knock the pity party out, put down the Taco Bell, do some lifting, but, like, don't ruin your trip because you made poor decisions and got yourself here.
Yeah.
You're still able to do all of these things.
Completely. And, like, I feel like we're, as a society, getting much more accepting of all body types, too.
Yeah.
So, like, in all actuality, maybe you feel like you've gained weight, but to the average person, you probably look hot AF and fine. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we are so, I mean, especially, like, I grew up, like, I felt like if I didn't have, like, six-pack abs and if I had, like, a tiny pooch, like, I was, like, overweight. Yeah. And now, like, I'm starting to realize, like, oh, no, like, that's not normal. Like, normal people don't have a six-pack. Like, it's okay if I look a little soft every once in a while because, like, I'm healthy, I'm doing my thing, and I feel great. And so I think that if you feel great, then I don't think you should care if you have cellulite. If you feel like you're being super healthy and you're active, I don't think you should care if, like, your fat hangs over your jeans, because, to be honest, is that hurting anyone?
No.
Or is anyone dying because your fat's hanging over your jeans? No. Are you not getting a job because when you went on vacation your cellulite showed in your bathing suit? No. Like, it's, you're not going to lose friends over it. I don't feel like your family's not going to love you less because your arm jiggles. Like, I think that we have to start looking at ourselves much more, like, less in terms of our appearance,
more in terms of, like, our experience and what we can give to people.
Correct.
Because I also think that makes it healthy for your mind, which helps your body be normal and not hold on to all the garbage that you're telling yourself.
Yes, and that's 100%, because if you're stressed out about how you look, then you're going to be stressed out about other things. And, to be honest, you know what holds fat? Stress. What's up?
Yeah.
So, if you stop caring, you will feel better.
You really will.
So just, like, stop caring so much about your appearance.
Well, and if you are not happy with yourself, you really are the only person that can change it.
Oh my gosh, you have the power to change that
at
any time.
Yeah, and the second that I took that in, like, I got myself where I'm at today. I can also get myself out of where I'm at.
Yep.
But, like, I mean, you have your whole life, which feels like a long time, but really it's not that long. So why be miserable about a little extra weight? Or
exactly.
you have a zit, okay, that sucks, but
congrats, everyone does.
Hello, Photoshop.
Yeah.
I mean,
if looks really amazing today, by the way. I don't know what you've been doing, but
I got this because I was having some struggles.
Yeah. I remember.
Thank heavens for foundation.
Yeah.
And I got it's from Purple Pearl where we get the Botox. They have their own in-house cleanser for, like, acne, and I've never had acne in my entire life until I moved to Louisville.
Yeah.
And then I've been using this Murad moisturizer. It's been totally,
like, it looks so good. Like, it looks just like you look glowing and just, like, smooth AF. It looks so good.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, good.
Also, I think if you can just accept the compliments, that really does help too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I used to be so bad at that.
So bad.
Where someone was like, "You look so good," I'd be like, "Shut up, gross." Like,
yeah.
Just say thank you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, that, like, you're so nice. Thank you. Like,
and then people, like, if you're giving the compliment, you're like, "Oh, you're welcome." But if someone's like, "Okay, stop," you're like, "Okay,
yeah,
I won't compliment you."
For sure. And it's okay to do it every once in a while because,
Yeah.
I mean, I have a dry sense of humor
Yeah.
and I'm sarcastic and...
Yeah.
But don't do it. Just don't do it all the time.
Yeah, just accept it.
It's not healthy for you.
And there's so many other people that would want to be in your position and have your whatever you've got. It's just you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna feel like poop, and you're gonna want to lock yourself in your house and not come out. But if you can just take that mindset and be like, I actually control how I weigh, how I do my hair, how I do my makeup, how I look, how I see myself. It's kind of a powerful movement that you can make inwards.
Completely.
I'm just saying.
I love that.
But it makes me so sad because I've thought about all the trips I've been on or the experience I've been a part, and my image controlled so much of my happiness.
Oh,
So
for
much
sure.
of my happiness.
I remember I took a trip like when I was maybe like early 20s, and it was probably the heaviest I'd ever been. And I really didn't think too much about it, except I tried on these one pair of shorts that I'd like tried on the summer before, and I'd not busted them out until then. And I tried them on and they wouldn't fit. And I just remember being like, oh my God, am I actually a fat, huge, like disgusting person? Like, should I even be on this trip? Like, but I was like 22, maybe, like 21. I was so insecure. Like, I hated myself like all the time. And I was just like, I felt like it like ruined my trip. I felt so disgusting the whole time. But again, that's 21, 22-year-old me. And now I am, oh my God, I'm 30 in 2 weeks, y'all.
That's exciting.
I'm excited.
30, flirty, and thriving.
Yes,
I love that movie. 13
I'm
Going on
totally
30.
going to be 30, flirty, and thriving.
Love it.
But like flirty, like in a career sense, you know?
Yeah, or like, just like fun.
I'm not really looking for anybody right now.
Just gonna flirt with Shane.
Word.
Hey,
You know.
wink, wink.
Exactly.
You gotta flirt to keep your marriage alive.
Exactly.
I mean, Adam is obsessed with me because I'm such a good flirt.
Gotta keep it going.
No big deal.
Of course.
Like, my game is strong.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
One-liners, the best.
I love it.
Yeah. Nothing a good old Google one-liner search can't fix.
I feel like I like this topic because it is kind of in the same sense of what the spirit of our guest
Oh, yes.
that we have on today is just like embracing who you are and embracing the power that you have.
You don't have to fit in the lines all the time.
Completely. And like you don't have to look a certain way to feel good. Like you can just like embrace yourself.
And honestly, being happy, and I wouldn't necessarily, you don't have to be like funny, but charismatic, and just being a happy person. People want to do business with you, want to be around you, want to be friends with you. Like, it's contagious. Like, you look forward to seeing this person because they're happy. And not everybody's going to be happy every day, all day, whatever. I get that. That's not the point. The point is being yourself, being a happy person, caring. What can you give? Not always what can you get back.
Completely.
Because, you know, the more you give, really, the more you do get back. But your intention shouldn't purely be to get back.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And so,
I think that's kind of what Andy, so today we have on Andy Blieden.
Yeah.
That's how you say his last name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even ask him. I feel like it. I just assumed because my last name is an I-E and it's an E sound, so I just say Blieden. So he is the self-appointed mayor of Butchertown.
Super fab.
Like, absolutely incredible. Just like the most eclectic, cool, successful.
And his hair, so great.
Right?
I have a slow-mo video that we'll post.
Incredible hair.
Flip on point.
And he is just, if you've ever met him, like, you cannot forget this person.
No,
like,
you can't.
He just has a personality that is so different and unique and just so him, and it's unlike anyone else that I've ever met in Louisville, especially like a professional, older businessman.
Gentleman.
You know? He's just not like anybody else in Louisville.
And he makes you feel like important when you talk to him.
Completely.
You have all of his attention, and what you're saying matters, and he cares about what you think. And of course he'd be successful. Why would you want to do business with him?
Exactly.
I'm not even looking for a house, but sure, why not? I'll buy one from you.
Yeah, like, I mean, let's do it.
Fine, you've talked to me. And, I mean, he just is compassionate and caring and genuinely cares about other people.
Completely.
Which is cool.
It is cool. And just like, it's just like a sense of like fun and just like fearlessness. And he's just like, I don't care.
I'm following my gut.
100%.
Which is really cool.
Following your gut is so important.
Yeah.
And just not, I think that he mentioned that he doesn't like think too far through things. It's just like, if I feel like it's right, I do it. If I don't feel like it's right, I don't do it. And I feel like we need to do that more often in life. It's just, if you're feeling it, awesome. If not, don't do it.
Yeah.
So,
and sometimes you're going to fail, but really it's taking that 10,000 feet step back and looking. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you, and you don't know what's down the road to come, and maybe that failure actually is setting you up for something better because you learned something from it, and so your next decision or your next venture or your next whatever is going to be so much better because I'm not making that mistake again.
Yeah. I love that.
You know.
I love that.
I can't even wait for you guys to listen.
I know, yeah. So, I guess we'll just get right into
Let's just do this.
Yeah, without further ado.
Andy. Oh, wait. He has a band, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And it's his kids and him, and they're freaking good. And his daughter can rap like Nicki Minaj. I'm not even kidding you. She's, I think, like 8 years old. This, like, tiny little white girl. Like, you wouldn't even know. She just throws down some rhymes.
She's insane.
Yeah.
He showed us a video.
She's out of this world.
I mean, like, and I'm not just saying, like, you know how, like, sometimes when people are like, oh, my God, my kids are really good at stuff, and then you see it and you're like, oh, my God, your kid's terrible. You just think they're good because they're your kid and you love them no matter what.
Yeah.
Not the case at all. Like,
I get
she
chills
is actually,
and,
like, you bomb.
Yeah, I'm like, oh!
I mean, like, she
so
is
good.
Yeah.
She's good. And they're going to be at Forecastle.
Yes. They're freaking going to be at Forecastle if that tells you anything about the talent level that they have. Like, it's, yeah. So, anyways, check them out.
Yeah.
I guess check out this interview with good old Andy. Okay, bye. We'll see you on the other side.
Welcome to today's podcast where we talk about the art of being lucky with the
one and only drum roll.
Hello!
Mayor of Butchertown!
Yeah. Self-appointed, not elected. That's an important caveat.
Yes. Also known as Andy.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Other than Jack.
Well.
I'm 1A.
Duh. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean.
And Jack couldn't be here today.
That's okay. Well, we're going to get him on again.
Sure.
But we'll have the duo. The sizzle and the fire.
Right.
The thunder and the lightning.
Yeah. The scratch and the itch.
The peanut butter and the jelly.
Ooh, glad you went with peanut butter. Scared me a tiny bit. Yeah. So Jack's my business partner, and he couldn't be here. So he's a big reason for my success, my being lucky. So I want to throw that out there.
That's awesome.
So, and I love episode 16.
Yeah, episode 16. Here we are.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're also recording live at the one and only Work the Metal.
Yeah. Banging earrings, freaking necklaces, rings, jewelry, art, candles, wine bar,
chocolate,
shirts, clothes, pants, shoes, jumpers, dresses, hats.
Anytime I hear someone say they've never been to Work the Metal before, I'm like, you're a crazy person. Why
Block
have you
your
not
throat. Here
been
comes
there?
your throat punch.
Literally.
You guys should sell throat punch blockers.
It's a great idea.
Actually, there is really funny. There is a blow up inner tube that you would put around your waist, and there's like a blow up man behind you, and I'm gonna buy one. I think.
Oh, here at Work the Metal.
Oh yeah. Where's the cabana boy or the cuffs are underneath?
Yeah, he's an inflatable pool boy.
Yeah, it's great.
But he's inflatable.
Yeah, it's good.
So you can deflate him.
Yeah.
When you're done.
I like that.
With him being in the pool. It's good. You know, Jack is like a genius at picking stuff out for Work the Metal. And this is our 16th year.
16th episode.
That's why we everything.
We talked about it.
It is because it's all about proper planning prevents poor performance. P. So I want to get back to your throat blocker.
Yeah.
You know, why don't you sell? You know, which is a good idea. Except I want to say, so we've been in business 16 years. I have never picked out the first item to sell at Work the Metal. There has never been an item where I said, hey guys, what about a throat punch blocker?
I think you should do it.
That might be the one where they go, okay, so, and you know what? And this is just a guess, but I think we've done pretty good without me buying. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So why start now?
Exactly. So what's the deal? You have to know what your role is.
Yeah.
You have to know, if you're itchy or scratchy. Again, back to that. So
completely.
I think that's very important. And so the buyers that we have here and Jack and stuff, if you haven't been to Work the Metal in the Butchertown market, it is a fun place to be. It's a great place to shop.
Don't make plans for the day.
Correct.
Because you'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Or Chelsea, don't try to leave early.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea, you got to get past Chelsea, and if we don't have the throat block punchers.
Yeah.
I know. She's going to
throat punch you.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, Andy is known as the mayor of Butchertown, essentially.
Because he has taken over.
Because he's pretty much taken over. And Butchertown is a area in Louisville. Used to be a little run down. Now is this beautiful, thriving, booming, artsy, sort of a Brooklyn-y sort of feel.
I think that's exactly right. They're building a soccer stadium 2 blocks away.
Definitely.
If you're anybody,
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's definitely coming up. So how did you kind of get involved? Are you from this area? Were you just this area looks tight? How did you kind of become
Where's the inspiration?
the mayor?
It's sort of so I was born in Louisville. I was born in 1962. I'm 56 and a half years old.
If I did math fast enough, I'd double check that, but I don't, so we'll go with it.
Me either. So, but yeah, and I was born, my dad started a real estate company in 1960, and he had success, and then he had tough times, and then he had success again. My dad was like the Energizer Bunny. He just kept going. You could knock him down, his feet would still be going. He was a great salesman. So you sort of have a guy like that you grow up with, and you watch him do stuff. And I have an older brother, Mark, who actually worked with my dad and took over my dad's company, and he's been super successful. He's the smartest real estate guy I know. And then my path was more circuitous. I was not I was a little bit of a rebel. And
I don't believe it.
No, I know. I mean, when you look at me now, you think the hair's attached to the hat.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's mine. So I grew up, Louisville's a great place to grow up, and I grew up really in the late 70s and early 80s, and I volunteered to be bused to Central because busing was going on, and there were a lot of reasons why I didn't want to go to. I was going to be at Ballard, and I'm not hating on Ballard, but it wasn't for me. Yeah. Central was anarchy.
That's your jam.
Central was my jam, and so I volunteered over there, and I ran for class president, and in my speech I said, I was born 16 years ago in a log cabin in Kentucky, and we will have keg parties, and I will set you free if you vote for me. And Principal McPherson called me up. He said, I have really bad news for you. I said, what? And he said, you won. So obviously the kids, they didn't want to.
The people what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
So there were there was a girl running, and she was trying to get into Yale, and she's still mad at me to this day because she's like, you ran as a total joke. And I was trying to build my resume, and I'm like, who builds a resume when you're in high school? And plus,
in high school.
I was smoking weed at the frickin' smoking area, which we don't have smoking areas at high schools anymore, do we? That's not a thing, right? So we had a smoking area. That's wrong on a lot of levels. But it was Kentucky, and we grew a lot of tobacco.
It's true.
and stuff. And
What
wacky
happens?
tobacco.
That's right.
Wacky tobacco. But so anyway, I was not sort of I was antisocial, which doesn't mean that I was not social. It means I was sort of I like being rebellious, and I kind of bucked the system and stuff, and I had to be a nightmare for my parents. I feel so bad for them because they did their best. Daggone it. They did. And so, anyway, I did not. So I played soccer in high school. We had a great soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
We would finish practice and get cases of Old Milwaukee after this is a high school practice, and we'd drink beer after our practices on Friday. Only in Kentucky. But this was like in 78, 77.
And the 70s.
Things were different, you know. And but it was a great it was a super fun high school experience. And
yeah, because you were drunk and high the whole time.
that was it. And my grades, I finished in the top half of the bottom third at Central.
That kind of math.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all how you present things.
Yeah.
It's about how you frame them, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I love Central. And I feel very lucky because I feel like I was sort of able to really be myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to, art was, I was in a band back then, and art was encouraged, and the teachers were cool, and they had a great English program. But anyway, it engaged me where it was less stringent and strict and sort of let me be myself, which was really cool. So, and then I went to the University of Kentucky, and I played soccer there for 3 years, which was really fun, and sort of found myself then. And when I was 21, I graduated and I got a job in real estate, working for a great real estate developer and a great businessman by the name of Jim Carp, who's been super successful and has really been a positive force for the community and Louisville and Kentucky as a state. So I owe a lot of my success to the mentoring of like my dad and my brother and Jim Carp, and then there's Steve Galt, who's a really good friend of mine who sort of taught me about real estate super early on.
That's cool.
So it definitely helped. And but I again, my route was circuitous in that I didn't go to work for myself right away, which I really probably should have, because I was really hard to manage, because I don't like being told what to do and when to do it.
Again, I don't believe that.
I know, but Jim was really good because he gave me projects and he said, get from point A to point B, and don't get thrown in jail, and don't make anybody really mad. Yeah. And so it was good training. And so we did America Place in Jeffersonville, which is 1.2 million square feet of industrial space. And when we got it, it was 0% leased, and 2 years later it was 100% leased.
Get it?
So that was cool, and that was a real economic boom for Jeffersonville. And then Jim started a medical distribution company that we distributed disposable medical products to hospitals across the country. And it's when Humana was in hospitals and Hospital Corporation of America moved here, and there were probably a couple hundred hospitals, and I would call on hospitals across the United States, which was really hard to travel that much. And I would go.
Calling on hospitals isn't easy.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was great work. It was interesting. I was a young man, and it just grinds you out, because I was flying like between 500 and 750,000 miles a year. So it was crazy, but it was a good discipline and taught you how to sell and stuff. And it was good, and the company was really successful. But then I, got to a point where I wanted to sort of do my own thing, and so kept evolving. And You know, there was a time I had one of the big hospital bigwigs that I sold to. I took him on a golf outing, and I had probably had a little too much to drink the night before, and it was like a 7:15 a.m. tea time, and
That's messed up.
Oh, it was so messed up.
7:15. Who golfs at 7:15?
This is what these people did, and so I had this.
Okay, well,
Surprising.
Yeah, no, and so I had the guy because you know you have to develop your relationships with your people, and
Right.
so I had him in the golf cart, and we teed off on number 1, and there was still dew on the grass, and it was really a beautiful golf course, and I was still Jack Danieled from the night before, and so I was looking for my ball. I took a hard left. I went a little ways, and I realized the guy was no longer in the cart. So I went back around, and I had taken such a hard left that I ejected the guy. And I do believe that golf carts should have seatbelts, because they don't. And this guy was wearing white pants, and he had hit the ground really hard, and he was okay, but I mean there was grass stains all on his pants, and I said to him, "Hey, fix your divot," because there was a body divot from where he hit the mud and grass and stuff, which was a funny thing to say. So I lost that account. I did. But so that was kind of the types of things that I would sort of.
Right.
Fix your divot.
It was, yeah, I did, because I mean, when are you going to get a chance to say that?
Right.
You're like,
And
I'm not
I
gonna
thought it
do
was
this
really
anyway.
funny, and
But
I figured it was
oh
all
my
soft
God.
tissue, it was nothing broken.
Right, exactly.
So,
Just like bruises and scratches and.
well, he
and
had,
stunning
yeah.
And maybe some blood.
So it was a long day.
But he definitely hurt the grass.
He did.
What a jerk.
I know, right?
That's your divot.
How about hold
Ew.
on tight?
Yeah. How about?
I mean, what is he, just kind of floating with not
Keep your
hanging
arms
on
and hands
anything?
inside the ride at all
Hello?
times, you weasel.
So I did feel kind of bad. So I had kind of events like that would happen, and then I became president of a manufacturing company, and that was good, except I'm not that good at manufacturing, is what I learned. And but the good thing about that was I met Jack Mathis,
Love that man.
and that's
Oh, can we talk about his hair?
Jack's hair is delicious.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. I love it. I think Jack. For those of you that don't know him, has lovely long flowing hair.
Locks.
It's well conditioned. It's
Oh,
well
it's like
cared
this
for. It's
beautiful
coiffed.
color, like when the sun hits
But
it,
it's
you hear,
natural.
like,
Oh, it's awesome.
yeah, it's
Oh,
real. Oh,
here
that
comes
was
the
nature.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock train.
Right on time.
Yep.
So we are right by a railroad track,
If you can't hear.
and whenever we mention Jack's hair, the train comes by. So let's not talk of it anymore.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Yeah. That's how it works.
So how did you guys meet?
We met through. I actually interviewed to work at her company.
Yeah.
And we went on a ride along together, and we
And
were.
she is obsessed with.
And then I was like, I don't want to work here. I just want to be friends with you forever. And
Yeah. It's
so
like, okay, fine.
that's what happened.
How great is that?
Yeah. So
And you
we-
totally didn't expect that was going to happen. You know, when I hired Jack, I think he said that he went into the bathroom and threw up because we had such a bad building that we worked in, and I kind of didn't know I wasn't great at what I was doing, so
Yeah.
I was like, kind of trying to feel my way around, and I don't know how to do this, and
But one thing I'm taking away from all this is that you started out knowing nothing, but you just worked hard, and now you own how many buildings in Butchertown? You have successful businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, you have everything from like boutique bougie to CrossFit to soon to be microbrewery.
right, and we have like Vietnamese,
The
Fa Lou,
Fa
and then High Five Donuts and
I
Stag
mean,
and Dough,
where
and
do you have
Butchertown
it?
Pizza
Nowhere.
Hall and
Oh.
Bourbon Barrel Foods, and the list goes on. And I think you've uncovered the secret to my success, which is
You're welcome. I'll send you a bill.
Yeah.
and I will send you a bill.
Okay.
And then we'll be sending each other bills.
I like
and
it.
so that
They will
sounds
be
good.
null
I
and
can't
void.
wait. And we'll see. Yeah, well, no, we'll keep doing
Please
it.
Yeah, right,
send
right.
special,
It'll be
like,
awesome.
love notes,
Sure.
You know.
But the secret to the success is the quality of the tenants and the quality of the people I work with. That's the secret. Because the better the tenant, the better the real estate deal.
That's true.
So, but it's long
So how
term.
do you pick your tenants? Have you turned people down? Like, no.
Have I turned people
sorry,
down?
No.
So, the guy from Bourbon Barrel Foods came in for a site visit, and his name's Matt Jamie, and he has turned out to be, just a brilliant product development person and a brilliant packager of products. I mean, his stuff, so the quality of his stuff, first and foremost, is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the way that he puts it together and the way he packages it, and it's been a blast to work with him. And but he came to me, I don't even know, I think maybe 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, and there was like nobody in the building, or was not a lot of people, and he kind of looked like a tennis bum. And I had space, you could have shot a cannon through the place and not hit anybody. He's like, do you have any space available? And I said, I might, as my words echoed in the cavernous emptiness. And so I showed him a spot in the back warehouse, and I said, what are you looking to do? And he said, well, I'm going to take bourbon barrels and I'm going to microbrew soy sauce in them, and then press it and bottle it and sell it. And I said, so he said, I'm a microbrewer of soy sauce. And I said, that's really weird because, we're really looking for a microbrewer of soy sauce. And he goes, really? And I go, I don't even know what you just said. I just heard pops and buzzes, but you're breathing and there's a chance you might be able to pay rent. So yeah,
I'll take you.
Yeah,
Come
that
on
works.
board. Let's get t-shirts.
It's called the foggy spoon test. If you can fog up a spoon, I'll lease to you. And if you can't, I'll lease to you. So, or I'll fog it up for you. No, so the guy, so that's kind of wacky, right? So you say, am I willing to bet on this guy?
Yeah.
Or, he obviously has passion. It sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I think that, it's the same with Jack. When Jack said, I want to start a retail store, he said there's no retail stores in Louisville or Kentucky or the area that really talk to what I would want to see in a retail store or what I would love in a retail store. And I think I can do it to where I can hit all the things that I would like to see in a retail store. And I said to him, I definitely want to be your partner, and I would rather eat a bowling ball, right? Because it's like retail was super hard, but I would. I mean, but he like had it.
Crushed it.
He's crushed it. He's a genius.
He really is.
And he's surrounded himself with great associates that buy into the Work the Metal way and what Work the Metal stands for and what our personality is and what our being is, and they are all great, so he's surrounded himself with these great people that for the most part, love coming in to work, and we can sort of pick people that we want to work with because, it's fun playing on a championship team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is. So, and that's the thing. It's like, and that's one of the things about Butchertown is who are we and who do we want to be and what do we want the neighborhood to be?
Yeah.
So it's like we want to be inclusive and we want to be green and we want to be compassionate and we want everyone to be welcome and we want to be imaginative and creative and on the cutting edge of the shopping experience and the eating experience and the neighborhood experience. So in Louisville, you can do that.
You can.
And in, New York, you can't. And in Chicago, you can't. Or you just have to have $1 billion.
I mean, call me. I'm loaded.
Right, I know you are. Because it appears you've been drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, not loaded that way. There you go. No, not really.
The ice here is superb.
It is. It's nugget ice.
Nugget.
Nugget.
Here's your golden nugget.
Ice. Here's your golden nugget. Who wants to eat some nugs of ice? So, that's good. So
Oh my God.
it's fun, you know.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You guys amazingly say stuff at the same time.
I know,
It is
we
so.
do.
It's so gross.
It's great.
We're the worst.
It's they call that synchronicity. Did you
We
know
are
that?
very in sync with each other.
You are.
Yeah, I think especially because we've been doing this for so long.
No,
now,
it's more than that.
yeah.
We have like a connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you guys remind me, like, if I didn't know, I would say you were sisters.
Stop it. That's
Shut
the compliment of
up.
my life.
Right.
God, I love you.
But
Soul sisters.
but who likes who more? She
Oh, I
likes
like her
you.
more.
She likes you more.
I like her more.
I can tell already she likes you more. So
Oh, that's
she has the
flattering.
power.
Internally.
Right.
Chelsea's more verbal. I'm
Chelsea,
more like,
does Chelsea have the power in the relationship? Because you like her more?
I think we're pretty equal.
yeah, I think
Okay,
we're
well,
pretty equal.
maybe we shouldn't delve so deep.
Yeah.
We'll
I
probably,
think-
because
I think-
I'm getting the feeling that it's uncomfortable.
this-
No,
No.
it's not.
Oh,
I
see,
think,
okay.
okay, let's talk about this. As like
Yeah,
building
of
here.
course,
I think
definitely.
Leigh is like she's more like say it, and I'm like, okay, I can get on board with that. But
Hold on,
then-
she tells you to say stuff because you say shit that just pops out of your mouth.
I know.
Like, there's no, you just say stuff. Like, does she really have to tell you to say
But
stuff?
I want Chelsea
No, but
to
she-
be more in touch with like her feelings and like who
Yeah.
she is. And so a lot of times I'm like, how do you feel right now?
Yeah,
Let's
that's a
talk
terrible
about-
idea.
You know what
I'm
I mean?
really sorry.
But no, but here's the thing.
Let's
Leah's
stuff
like,
those feelings down. Stuff those feelings down.
No, Leah's like, we're gonna do this. What do you think of this? I'm like, I love that. We're on the same page, and if there's something like, but you like it, I'm good with that. I can do that.
For sure.
But if there's something I'm really strong about, I'll say it. And she's like, okay.
Because I don't necessarily see you as just popping stuff out like that. You seem a little bit more, and I could be totally wrong on this because I don't even know my wife that well. I mean, I'm trying to get to know her better, but she's
Always
like,
dating. That's
Yeah.
the secret to marriage.
I know.
Yes, it is.
I'm like,
Chelsea's the idea person, if that's
Mhm.
maybe what you're.
so is there
You know
a,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I
could
think
see
that
that.
you're definitely like the. I have this idea. Let's do this. Like, you know what I
And
mean?
Leah's like,
So is it kind of yin yang?
practical.
I think it is
1000%.
yin and yang.
Yeah. I think that's so
it's
important.
My job to like filter her ideas and be like, okay,
Mhm.
which one of these could we actually do? You know?
Yeah.
Because
That's
seriously,
kind of how-
if you both were the same or had the same strengths, what's the point? Right? Because it seems to me that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts with you guys.
I love that.
Hey,
It is.
gosh.
See, you both pull each other up. You
Yeah.
make each other better.
Here,
Yeah,
I love
shaman
this.
and
Yeah.
shaman, mayor, Butchertown, and
Gosh.
Ay, shaman. Hey, don't squeeze a shaman. That was good. It's an old habit. Funny.
We're gonna go with it. We're
Yeah.
gonna go with it.
So I think that's good. I feel like one of the things we're seeing in today's political arena and on social media and stuff, there's so much stuff I don't like. There's like so much negativity. There's so much people getting after people, and there's mean. It's gross. So one of the things with Butchertown is like, okay, let's just be nice to each other.
Or
Let's
make
just
fun of
be
everyone equally.
kind. Absolutely. Absolutely. A common enemy makes for the good friends together. No. It is. It's like it's just tough. It's like, what is the antidote to today's atmosphere that's out there? It's going to the wine bar and shopping at Work the Metal. It might not be the solution, but it helps our business.
yeah. I mean, it's nice.
I maybe just sold out right there, but but the point is, it's like, go, be with your friends and we're going to be nice to you, and it'll be a nice place to hang out.
I love to come here, and Jack always gets me the ice cubes and the water, and then we just sit and chat, and I turns my day right around.
Sure.
Yeah,
And
and I
it's-
love that idea, especially because, I mean, very personal example. Today, I was having a horrible day. I was just like not feeling anything. I was just like feeling terrible, and I feel like I walk in here, and the atmosphere in here, it's just, you don't think about what's going on in your life. You're just here, and you're enjoying this experience, and it really is like an experience. Like, when you walk
that's
in here,
well.
it's,
If
it's
you're
not a store,
right, if you're going to be successful, you have to compete with Amazon. Our store does. because Amazon can crush everybody.
Yep.
And they can, right? But retail will never go away, but we had to focus more on what reason is it for people to come here? There's got to be a reason, and it's, Jack talks about it all the time. It is about having our customers have a great experience here. And so that's what we want, because people are still going to want to shop and look at clothes with their buddies. You can't shop online with your buddies. I mean, maybe you can, but it's just not the same. And then seeing stuff in person and
Touching, feeling, smelling.
right, it's just better. And you might have been feeling bad, but your hair's cute today.
Oh, she looks
Thank
bomb.
you.
I love her hair.
The lashes,
And again, it
the
goes back to
skin,
the hair.
Thank you. I did get my braids done, so my grades are
You
gone,
you look great.
Feeling great.
That's good.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Tell me.
Hey, your partner's hair looks great. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's exactly it, actually.
I love it.
So,
Nice.
But okay, well, I have a question.
Yes.
So you have done all these things. I mean, I feel like you've been pretty successful. So what was something, like, when you start your own business, it's scary. It's a lot of unknowns. So how was that for you? Like, I'm buying this, I'm doing all these things. Like, how did you get through all of that? Or did you not experience that? Did you, like, fall from heaven?
No.
Like,
God,
it just
no.
happened this
No,
way?
if you are successful, you have to be lucky.
Yeah.
There's absolutely, again, you have to be lucky. And, one of the very fortuitous things for me is I focused on Butchertown before Butchertown was a thing. Now, they're building a $70 million stadium, and they're doing a $200 million real estate development of hotels and office buildings and restaurants and retail. Guess what? That's 100% luck. You cannot have somebody build a stadium 2 blocks from you and say, oh, I knew that was going to happen, because nobody knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but I also think you put a lot of work in down here,
Absolutely.
and that's attracted people.
Yeah, but they had to put together 40 acres from 5 different owners and make that land come together and not have one person hold out or be unreasonable or it blows the whole deal. It was very hard. But what other city has 40 acres 0.7 of a mile from the central business district? Louisville, because we haven't done stuff with, we've just sort of been hanging. And it was a metal scrapyard, an automobile graveyard, self-storage, an industrial building that had gone, tanks, petroleum tanks that were no longer in use. The ground was dirty. This was a godsend that Louisville decided to move forward with this project.
Yeah.
But my point is, does that make my stuff more valuable? Yeah. That's like a home run.
Holler.
Did I mean for that to happen? No. You can't plan for that. You got to get lucky. And that is not humble bragging. Now, the thing that I did was I found out when the stadium might come. There was nothing I worked harder on than trying to get the stadium here.
Yeah.
Because it was the right idea at the right time. The key, I think, to my success is that I do not suffer from analysis paralysis.
Explain.
So,
I love that.
right? So I kind of fly by the seat of my pants.
No.
Nope.
See that.
I know. You haven't seen a lot of sides of me that I haven't shown you yet.
But you can almost do a pull-up. How are you feeling on that?
I'm getting closer.
Okay.
I am up to the bottom of my chin.
Oh,
Which
okay.
Oh,
One day
that's good.
after work,
I'm
I did
like,
not have.
I can show you. But I'm so much closer.
Well, I'll have to come
And
see.
it's going to happen.
And one day I was chatting with Jack. I did not have gym clothes in my car.
Mhm.
And this fine gentleman said, that doesn't matter. I'm sure we can find some at the gym. So he made me go work out in
Yeah.
someone else's gym clothes.
But your attitude was great because you were like, I don't care. Some people, Jack wouldn't put on my gym clothes.
I'm not above it. I have 4 sisters and a brother.
Right. And so you put on the gym clothes and then you get in there and you're a boss.
Yeah. Turned down for what?
You were a
Except those like
boss.
flingy things on the bars. I couldn't.
Anything with the word fling in it, I got a problem with. I'm going to cramp up or I'm going to end up with a rash.
Yeah.
But let's not stay there too long. The point is that you were a boss.
Right. She was a boss.
She rocked
I
it.
was going paralysis analysis.
Analysis paralysis.
Well, I
Got
was.
it.
It's okay.
So close.
So, but analysis paralysis is when a deal comes your way and you dissect it. You're so scared of failing. And, I probably should look at things a little bit harder, but I am a intuition kind of guy. And I feel like I will do deals fast and I try to be easy. In real estate, it's much easier to buy than it is to sell. It is hard. Real estate is not liquid. It is hard to get your money out of real estate.
Yeah.
That's one of the issues with it. But so I'll move fast. I'm faster than a lot of people because I can sort of sniff at something and say, oh, this will work. And I've been betting heavily on Butchertown, and one of the reasons why I like to concentrate in an area is because a rising tide lifts all boats. So if I'm fixing up really nasty real estate close to my core building, which is the Butchertown Market building, and I'm leasing those out where they're vacant, and I'm creating cool stuff or trying to create cool stuff going on, then guess what? It helps the Butchertown Market building. It helps everybody that's around here. And again, I'll go back to, when I bought the Butchertown Market building, there were 11 people that worked here with Cod El Cid, who I bought it from. Today we have over 200 people that work in here. So it's become,
cool.
It is. Yeah. I think that is one of the most important things that real estate developers can do, especially, I believe that redevelopment or adaptive reuse of real estate is a really high level of recycling. Because it's already here. Yeah. I bought this, for what I bought the building for, it was like pennies on the dollar of what it would cost for me to rebuild it. So somewhere there's a good deal there, right?
Right.
If you're saying I'm buying this for X, and to build it, it's worth, 15 times that, then somewhere there's some value there, which is sort of, and then people really tap into the idea of saving these beautiful old buildings. Which is, again, another reason why Jack has done such a good job utilizing the real estate that we have, utilizing the space that we have, and making it everybody's space. But people come in when they bring people from out of town and they say, look how cool this is, and this is our place. Yeah. Because, there's just not a whole lot of shopping experiences like it. So if you're going to...
One thing, too, I'll say is that your guys' social media does a really good job of trying to include all their customers. Like, if you tag Work the Metal in a picture, you're in their story. And that makes people feel included and valued as a customer.
Yeah.
Completely.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And again, that's above my pay grade because the social media stuff, I should, know more about it, but I'm, old school. And... But it's okay. But I know. But Valerie, our person that does our social media, she's a baller, man, and she's great. And again, she totally understands the essence of Work the Metal, and she does an incredible job. And it's it's the team and stuff. And so, thank God, But I love our social media. I like watching it and stuff. I'm just, that's sort of out of my league, but it's still good. So.
Well, I think one thing that I do before we wrap up, I know that you have talked a lot about, you got super lucky, you don't have analysis paralysis. Is there any other, if you could have just an open forum of this is advice that I would give to someone who is looking to start their own business or looking to maybe switch from one career to another, and it's waters they've never tread before. What would you, from your personal experience, say to someone?
A couple things. I would say, people have fear of change. It's sort of inherent. And so what I always try to do is figure out what is the worst case scenario. So, let's say you're miserable in a job, and then you're looking at doing something either you have a passion for or something that is rewarding to you, or just getting out of a bad situation, doing something new. What's the worst thing that happens? You're already freaking miserable. really, if you switch and you're miserable, you're kind of at the same spot, and at least you tried something different.
Yeah.
It's like people people lie in their own waste because it's warm and they've gotten used to the smell. Right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, hey, why don't you get up and clean yourself off and try something different? There is a lack of aggression and chase your dream. One of the things I like to think about as I'm doing the real estate and stuff is it's an artistic endeavor for me. So fixing up the real estate is an artistic endeavor for me. These are my canvases.
Yeah.
This is the art I try to create, and it's what I shoot for. And also, I try to be as much a partner and helpful with especially smaller businesses starting off, because it's really hard to make money.
Yeah, you funded the Dupre household.
Good. That's I'm being in. And there's more coming down the pike.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that the key is that you have to be true to yourself. You have to figure out, who am I? What do I stand for?
Oh my gosh, this was destiny.
Right?
16 years, 16th pod. This is like the theme of our show.
It is the theme of our show.
Yeah.
I love it.
Keep going. Like, it's just like, oh, so perfect. So
No.
press onward.
No, it is. And it took a long time, It's like, I had long hair before Jack had long hair, even though his hair is so much beautifuler than mine. But which is okay. And at one point, my mom, who is a big reason of my success, she would say to me, hey, cut your hair. And I'm like, hey, I'm 50, It's like, kind of get used to it. It's like, it's
Right.
my jam, and she's like,
Have
so,
you done a bun yet?
huh?
Have you done a bun?
Yeah,
I think a bun would be cute.
it's good. I mean,
Like, what about top bun, though?
I do a top bun when I work out. You would think I can get the top bun over my, to do a pull-up. The top bun actually goes over.
Hey, that's impressive.
It's a top bun
I'm going to need
pull-up.
a selfie and a top bun, though.
You got
for
it.
the pod.
You got it.
Right.
We'll get that. We can make that happen. So my mom said, so my brother calls me up and he's like, just get your hair cut for Mom. It'll make her happy and stuff. And so I got my hair cut and I went to a party and I saw Mom and she said, your hair looks great. Now you could lose a couple pounds. And so what I learned is whatever is number one, when you get rid of it, number two becomes number one, and number three becomes number two. Mm-hmm. And so there's always a list. So do stuff for yourself. Get to where you're comfortable with who and what you are. But I think that our whole reason for being is to leave the world a better place than before we got here. That, you have to sort of have that mission statement. And so if you say, okay, I need to leave the world a better place, my most important job, I want people to remember me as a good dad. I want them to say he was a good dad.
Oh, you're a great dad.
I want my kids to say that. Because that's the most important job I have. Then, to say, looking back, was I able to, pull some people up, or lift some people up, and then, third, can I have, train carloads of money and jewelry, give me the money, show me the money, show me the money, show me the money, show me the money. All right, the third part was probably kind of a little bass. We got a little bass there. But that was third. It wasn't first.
Yeah.
But money it's important that you are successful and that you do make money, because money is economic energy.
Yeah.
And you can...
Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy you a lot of things that make you happy.
Well, I think the lack of money can cause misery,
Yeah.
but the worship of money will be sure to cause
It'll
great harm.
Demise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, so that's the thing, don't surround yourself with yourself.
Yeah.
You can't be self-centered and selfish. And I always say, I always want to be loving and tolerant. I want to say, am I being loving? Am I being tolerant? That's how I want to act. And a lot of times, especially when I'm in my car, there isn't a whole lot of love, and there's a distinct lack of tolerance. But that's because there's some stupid drivers, which aren't my fault. But I shouldn't be non-tolerant. I should always be tolerant.
The
Right?
worst is when you kind of get mad, you see, oh, they're an old person.
Exactly.
I feel bad at that.
And then it's like, dang, that's my mom.
Right.
The one I
And then
don't
I'm in
feel-
her car.
Yeah.
The one I don't feel bad about is the minivan. You watch minivans, worst drivers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sounds like you're kind of intolerant of me.
that is true. Working on it.
But I think, so just because we're justified in hating the minivan drivers does not make it right.
It does make it right.
It does not.
I will work on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
they're
I
the
think you're
worst.
right.
They really are.
But we have to move beyond them being the worst and figure out what's the solution,
Yeah.
Completely.
So us screaming at them might make them even worse minivan drivers.
It's true.
Yeah.
And you never know if they're having a hard day. Or a
They're
bad day.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
or
the
if their
thing.
kid just threw something at them.
Exactly. Or if they're not super happy with themselves because they're driving a minivan.
That's it. That's the one right
That
there.
would do it. That would do it. But I think we are all in charge of our own happiness.
Oh, 1,000%.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love
So
that.
that's a deal. So, so I would leave you with go out and do something that you go out of your way to make somebody happy today. Say something nice. Compliment somebody.
I love that.
Buy a minivan.
Don't buy
If
me.
it
Don't
makes you
buy
happy,
a mini.
If it makes you happy,
Makes you happy.
buy a minivan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love that. I think that's
Do
a
some
good...
Cheryl Crow.
Easy for you to say. Yeah, we have a van and we have a mini van.
Minivan.
Mm-hmm. No, a minivan. Mm-hmm.
I carry my
Minivan.
millions
Mhm.
of dollars in a
Mhm.
minivan.
Oh my gosh.
Perhaps $1 million. Is she sleep? She wants some chocolate? She's sleep? No.
I think that you possibly have been the most entertaining guest that we've had so far.
Wow.
On
You
the
need
pod.
more guests. You have not
I don't think
dug
anyone
deep.
can top you yet.
Nah.
Yeah.
One word for you, Jack Mathis.
Oh, he's pretty great.
Without a
Yeah.
space in between the K and the M.
Yeah, no.
That's one word.
Maybe we'll just do a separate pod we'll
Yeah.
do part 1 and part 2.
And then we didn't even talk about Forecastle and the family Blieden.
Hit it
Oh my
real
gosh.
quick.
Yes, yes,
Real
yes.
quick, let's do it.
Yes.
I'm the A to the D to the D to the Y. I make you laugh, but you make me cry. Come see our show. That's it. Yeah, come on. Put your hands together. Come on,
Oh my
everybody.
gosh, that was incredible.
But your daughter
That
is
was
a
incredible.
legit amazing rapper, so they are.
And
the
my
ones-
son's good too.
Yes.
And then Sylvanus Hudson. DJ!
Yes. So Forecastle this summer, they're on tour in Louisville, Kentucky.
Mhm.
Get your T-shirt, do the thing.
Tell them the whole tour.
Louisville, Kentucky.
There you go.
That's it. That's
the
One
tour.
show. One show only.
one night only.
Uh-huh.
One show only.
Monday.
Yes.
Well, we will put details of the show, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll drop a link to Work the Metal's website, Work the Metal's social media. If you've never been, please go.
Yeah.
We'll do all of this in our show
Chelsea
notes.
will not throat punch you
Of course not. She
unless
will
you
not.
don't show up.
Correct.
Yes, the throat
Then
punches
we'll
don't come
find
for coming.
you. Then we will
They
come find
come
you.
because you don't come.
Correct.
She will track you down in your minivan.
Yeah. If you
Open up a can of whoop-ass.
If you can't sit with us.
You can. She's just joking. You can. We want all the...
1,000%.
I love it.
You're the one good minivan driver if you're listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
Correct,
Amanda
yep.
Graves.
Oh, Amanda Graves!
Is she a mini?
She has a minivan driver
Aw.
and she can boogie
Mm-hmm.
and take a photo.
Amanda Graves.
We love
Yeah.
A lot of illegal driving, Amanda Graves, if you're taking photos.
you. She eats bacon while she drives her minivan.
Hell yeah.
It's true. We love you.
That's good.
Uh,
Shout out to Amanda, eating bacon, taking pictures, driving a minivan. Amanda. Remind me not to ride with Amanda.
oh, she's great. She gets from point A from point
my
B.
gosh.
And all I can say is, did you die?
This has been incredible. There's a woman. Hello, ma'am.
Hey. That was awesome.
That was-
It just started raining and
Yeah, this
And
is
people
kinda-
are-
Yeah,
People are getting wild.
People have gone wild.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you for being on this podcast.
that was fun.
seriously.
You're the best.
You're the
Definitely.
best. You all are the
This
best.
has been an awesome energy boost, energy shift.
Yeah,
today.
good.
This has been great. It's awesome. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We will be back next week.
Thank you, guys. I won't be back.
You might. We don't know.
Eventually.
I'll be
we'll have
back.
you
One day.
All right, we'll see you next week on